Hi, kids. So, since it is election time, and usually there is October surprise, I figure I'd give you guys an October surprise for my project. So, as you see in the background, I have two Fiat. The black one is a 1200, and the white one is a special car. And so let's look at these a little closer, and I'll explain to you why the white car is such a special car. So this black car here is a 1960 Fiat 1200. This is, if you've been following me, this is the project that I'm working on. Basically, I will show you here in a minute. I have another 1960 Fiat OSCA 1500 that I'm going to take the body of the black one and put it into the other car and make an OSCA car out of it. Now, the white car is also a 1960, but it is a Fiat OSCA 1500, and it is a coupe. And that's the part that is special about this car. So first of all, OSCA is a company that the Maserati brothers started back in the 50s, maybe. When they sold the Maserati name and the Maserati company, the OSCA company is what they started after that. So this car here has a OSCA motor, or basically a Maserati motor. So the way the story goes is Fiat and Maserati started collaborating on these cars. And so these cars are all designed by Pininfarina. And Fiat collaborated with Maserati to supply the engines for the Spiders. At one point, Maserati went to Fiat and asked them, hey, do you guys want to build a coupe? And Fiat had no interest in building a coupe, since they always felt that the Spiders were more of a sporty car. So Maserati said, do you mind if we build a coupe? Fiat said, go ahead. So anyway, so this white car that you see here is designed and actually assembled by Pininfarina with the Maserati motor. So basically, it should be called a Pininfarina OSCA, because Fiat really had nothing to do with this car other than supplying the parts. So now, what's so special about the car is that they only made 800 of these coupes, and in the United States, there's only 6 of them. That's because the cars were made for the European market, so most of them stayed in Europe. But over time, 6 of them have made it over to the United States. The one that you see here, I purchased a few months ago, and it was delivered to me a few weeks ago. The car spent most of its time in Europe, and it was brought to the United States 2 years ago from the Netherlands. So again, that is why it's a very special car. So now let me show you a little bit of the differences between the two cars. So let's talk about the Fiat 1200 first, the black car. So this is a nice car. It's very clean, very nice interior. Few flaws in the paint, but for the most part, it's a clean car. It's a nice, very clean driver. Now, the distinction is that this car here has a Fiat engine. So it's a little 4-cylinder, 1200cc, just one cam with push rods. So it's a push rod engine, 1200cc. I think they were rated around 60 horsepower. If you have been following me, the project that I'm working on is I have this other Fiat OSCA here. This is a 1960 Fiat 1500 OSCA. So the body and the interior are in horrible shape. However, it has all the mechanical components. So my project is to basically put the black body from the Fiat 1200 into the chassis of this car. So once I'm done, I'll end up with a Fiat 1500 OSCA, which will have all the OSCA suspension, the OSCA brakes, which are bigger. It has 15-inch wheels versus a 14-inch wheels, but it'll have the nice black body, which is much better shape than to bring this one up to snuff. So that's the project that I'm working on. That's my YouTube channel, is basically focusing on doing this, the restoration of this OSCA 1500. Now, let's talk about the white car. So the white car, I believe, has some very nice body lines, Pininfarina type body lines. Those are the kind of body lines that you see in a lot of cars of that era. Some of the Maseratis, even some of the Ferraris. Very unique Pininfarina body lines. The way the trunk comes down, the way the tail lights are designed, and the bumpers, and especially I feel one of the things that it's very unique about the Pininfarinas is the step up in the fender right here in the back. You see it in a lot of the the Pininfarina designs. Alfa Romeos of the rear are the same thing. Also, another notable thing is the scoop in the hood. So anyways, but this year, the other unique thing, it has an OSCA motor. So again, the OSCA motors are the Maserati motors. Now, what's different? Of course, from the 1200, as you can see right away, it's a dual overhead cam, still a little four-cylinder, 1500 cc, rated around 90 to 100 horsepower, depending on how you put it together. But the main feature is the dual overhead cam type motor. So again, this is a unique, special car. If you look inside the interior of this car, it's also in decent condition, in leather, black leather. It has a Nardi steering wheel, which I believe is just a very sexy steering wheel, and the wood grain on the dash. Now, another notable thing about this car. So again, being that it's rare, it has been featured in a couple magazines, okay? Now, since the car came from the Netherlands, these magazines are in its language. But this car has been featured in this magazine. So here's the car in the magazine. There's several pictures of the car. Again, it has a several page feature about the car. So now the other thing that I thought was very interesting, and I didn't know about this before I purchased the car, but this car was, I believe it was in 2017 or 2019 maybe, but it was in the Mille Miglia. Now, I think what happens is in the Mille Miglia, you have some cars that get invited. This is certainly not an era that would have raced in the Mille Miglia, but it was in the rally. So, so again, the car is featured in several pages. Here it is. Here it is again. There's a nice article. One of these days, I'll sit down and translate the language that it's in the magazine into English so I can read some of the details. But anyways, that's why I think this car is so special. So anyways, I hope you follow me and enjoy the project as much as I'm enjoying it. I have the engine at the machine shop right now, and one of my next videos will be talking about the engine disassembly and what I went through to do that. So stay tuned. So you can see why I'm excited. I'm excited for two reasons. One, I'm working on a really cool car, on a really cool project, trying to put this black car into making it into an OSCA 1500. I'm having a lot of fun learning about the engine, taking things apart, studying them, and understanding how they work. And then the second thing why I'm so excited is because once I'm done with this project, I will end up with a OSCA 1500 Spider, and I'll have my white car, which is the OSCA 1500 Coupe. So I'll end up with the Spider and a coupe of OSCA cars, which I'm super excited about. So depending on the weather, I can either go out in the coupe or put the top down and go out in the Spider. So anyways, we have, like I said before, we have a lot of work to do to get to that point. So to realize my dream. So stay tuned and let's get to work.